Hello, this is Infowars.com with Spellbinder reporting on it. Brain-eating vaccines, reality behind the conspiracy theory. Wired magazine hit piece attempted to debunk the legitimate concerns about agenda to chemically lobotomize general public through vaccines water supply. Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars, August 4th, 2010, Wednesday. Updated with personal statements by Alex Jones. Wired magazine writer Johan Lehr has labeled concerns that vaccines which alter brain chemistry and induce a state of focused calm could be abused by governments to create lobotomized civil populations as delusional, paranoid, and idiotic conspiracy theories. Despite the fact that the major mental health professionals are already pushing for lithium to be introduced into the water supply as a means of mass medication against mood disorders. Lehr, an Oxford University graduate and Rhodes Scholar, that should give you a red light, brazenly calls Alex Jones a liar in his article today after Jones put out the YouTube video in which he warned that new vaccines designed to reduce stress and neutralize people's angers could lead to a nightmare Thax 1138, gotta watch it, scenario in which the population is controlled and subjugated through the use of special drugs to suppress emotions. Jones also encouraged listeners to Google search the words brain-eating vaccines, causing the term to rise to the #1 position on Google Trends for August 3rd. In the video, Alex Jones makes the point that vaccines being proposed by people like Robert Sapolsky to impose a state of focused calm by altering brain chemistry as well as shots aimed at curbing drug and cigarette addiction fit the very definition of being brain-eating because they fundamentally rewire the brain and shut down innate processes that naturally produce stress, anxiety, and aggression, which are all necessary human traits for vital to survive and healthy mental functioning. Eat like a king. Stock up on food. Oh, an advertisement. Many vaccines certain that the preservative thimerosal, a compound derived from mercury, also the video below from the University of Calgary demonstrates mercury as a potent neurotoxin and causes neurodegeneration, altering the very structure of the brain. The U.S. government has been forced to admit that childhood vaccines preserve the thimerosal have contributed to the explosion of autism cases in the United States. Lehr unwittingly exposes this biased tactics to libel legitimate concerns surrounding these vaccines as mythical fantasies when he claims that plans by government to artificially add lithium to the water supply are in fact idiotic conspiracy theories. No, there are several articles out there. Do your research. Perhaps Lehr can explain why Professor Alan Young of Vancouver's Institute of Mental Health told the BBC that large-scale trials involving the addition of lithium to drinking water supplies may be feasible, following claims that lithium led to a reduction of the number of suicides in Japan and helped to alleviate mood disorders. It's hardly an idiotic conspiracy theory when one of Canada's foremost mental health professionals is calling for its potential implementation. Is it Mr. Lehr? Lehr also includes a lengthy passage from a separate blog which scoffs at people who are worried about authorities attempting to sterilize and pacify their populations through drugs in their water supply. Do your research. Google it. Putting fluoride in there is a poison to lower your IQ. Apparently, if you are concerned about brain-eating vaccines, then you're also stupid enough to think that powerful people in position of influence have publicly called for the population to be mass medicated against their will by means of sterilant in the water supply. Well, fluoride, I say it again. And they also, yes, the Georgia Guidestones. Just Google it. Presumably, then we should take a short Robert Sapolsky's anti-stress vaccine and not concern ourselves with the trivial fact that Barack Obama, top science czar John P. Holdens, advocated in his own textbook, Ecoscience or Eugenicides, that a Planetary regime should employ a global police force to enforce totalitarian measures of population control, including forced abortions. Yes, he wants to kill all your children. Mass sterilization programs conducted via the food and water supply, as well as mandatory bodily implements that would prevent couples from having children. Of course, if you don't have children to fight against them, then they win. Neither should the fact that Holden's retaliated these talking points as recently as 2006 be a topic of consternation, and anyone who makes reference to it is obviously just engaging in another delusional rant, to use Lear's term. Indeed, Lear's own fellow Oxford luminary Julian Solowsky in a 2008 white paper called for population to be mass medicated through pharmaceutical cognitive enhancements added to the water supply. Yes, they want you stupid, dumb, and obedient. Of course, this is not the first time that we've warned against dangers of vaccines and been proven right, despite being attacked in delusional conspiracy theories for doing it at the same time. The same claims were made about the H1N1 vaccine when Alex Jones and other leading alternative researchers identified the pandemic hype as a hoax to sell vaccine stock and impose an untested formula created with cancer cells, which all vaccines have. Now Wolfgang Woodgrog of the Council of Europe has exposed that it was false pandemic delivery fueled by WHO, yes, the World Health Organization, officials and vaccine industry representatives, to make a buck. Of course, there's patriotic rebuttal, which consists mainly of playground insults and straw man invocations, perhaps the best answered by the readers of the article, the vast majority of whom expressed their brilliant disagreement. After reading this article and then watching the Alex Jones well-documented video, there is no question who is telling the truth. It's most certainly not the author of this article. Major Failure Johan writes one point out of Lear's refusal to even link direct to Alex Jones' YouTube video, probably because he is unable to debunk Jones's exhaustively documented analysis about the threat posed by brain-altering vaccines. All you did was prove Alex Jones was right, writes another, and that's where it's sad here. You're not an intellectual, you're a hypocrite with a weak-ass puff piece that does nothing to prove Alex Jones wrong, but just attacks his character, which is always true. They attacked his character because they can't win. A vaccine to alleviate stress, only domesticated, drugged minds could see the dangers in that, and then to attack someone who doesn't see the danger in it, points another. I am an RN, and one of the reasons I'm leaving this profession is the vaccine autism issue. Look into the history of eugenics, the government testing of unwitting human subjects, and tells me that Alex Jones and the questioning public he serves are paranoid. Look at the history of the 20th century and tell me that governments would never treat their own citizens this way. Lithium additives to the water supply are being proposed ostensibly, by the way, to lower the suicide rate. Sodium fluoride was used by the Nazis to make Jewish populations more docile. The CDC and the corporate mainstream media urged pregnant mothers and children to use the flu shot from last season, assuring them it was safe, and deriding the paranoid conspiracy theorists who warn against it. And I myself are administrating it. Read the package insert, which clearly states the safety of this vaccine for use for pregnant women and children has not been evaluated. This is about money and power. Give yourself an education in both before you join the seminine hooting against liars and paranoids that follow fact challenge ad hominem attacks such as the one above article. Conclude another commenter. A parent whose child's autoimmune response, Kindard 75, also backed up Alex claims with personal knowledge. I am for the fact that Alex Jones is right. My son, who is 6 years old, now had all in one shot when he was 18 months old. In the middle of the night, he ran 104 temperature and could not get it down to take him to the ER. Finally got it down. He woke up in the morning, not able to talk, to babble, or even make eye contact. Mind you that he was fine before the shots. He has autism now thanks to those shots. He's getting a bunch of help and will never be the same. This pisses me off no end, and I have a teenage son with ADHD and epilepsy, and you tell me these shots are good? You are a liar, not Alex Jones. Johan Lear has been publicly invited to appear on the Alex Jones Show to defend his claim that Alex Jones is a liar on the subject of brain-eating vaccines. Watch this space to see if he accepts the challenge, or if he continues to hide behind sophisticated jabs or sophisticated jabs and straw man arguments. Following the statement by Alex Jones was submitted to the Wired website but never appeared in the comments section in respect to Lear's hit piece. You understand, this is what is happening here. Alex Jones challenges him, he turns him down, he denies everything he says. I mean, people, you give your child these shots, I guaranteed you'll have a retard for a child. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not politically correct. A challenged child. And that's where you'll end up with. Do not let your children get these shots, no matter what. I never had them because I was born in 1960 and they didn't, at that time, have this New World Order evil going on. Eugenicists working then. They were working in West Virginia and Virginia because they were taking children. I remember seeing those videos. God, this is bad. Just look up the eugenics videos on YouTube and you'll find them that they're telling this young girl because her brother and her two brothers, one's an inbred and the other was a criminal, that she needs to be sterilized. And this is like 1930s or something, 40s. And it actually 40s because it had sound to it. And you realize that what they're doing is downright criminal. And they're still trying to pull this off. This is money making in the bank for them. Like I said, look at this. I've seen this video. All you have to do is look at this video right here. Watch mercury kill brain, vaccines and neurological things. You'll watch this thing crumble up until it's nothing back beyond the little beads here in the brain cell. It just eats it up instantly. And Alex Jones, he will tell you this. Media pushes brain-eating vaccines, nanotechnology. I mean, I don't got time to play that, but exactly what he says in this video is true. All you have to do is follow my links at the bottom of my video here on YouTube and you will find out for yourself that these monsters are out there. They don't care about your children. They don't care about you. They just care about the money and the takeover and the depopulation. They're eugenicists. They want to kill your children. My God, I don't know how you can not see what's going on. And that shot is the most deadliest poison that you can find. I'm ending it here now because this is starting to get me riled up as Alex Jones, and it makes me mad. I mean, these people calling him a liar. He does his research. I do my research, and I agree with him 100%. This man knows what's going on. He is the forerunner in knowledge and information that you gotta know. I don't care what you see on YouTube about him, he's still telling you the facts. And if you don't believe it, then you're lost. And you'll always be that way. Until next time, this is Spellbinder, someone on the same page as Alex Jones and been that way for at least 20 years. Good day.